If there were a way that you could confidently step onto any stage, deliver a keynote so powerful that audiences hang on your every word and leave a lasting impact that they never forget, would you want to know how to make that happen? There is a way. And today I'm going to share exactly how you can create a keynote speech that audiences will remember forever. Welcome to another episode of the Next Stage Speaker Success Secrets podcast. I'm Lord Al Jensen, and with over 7,500 stage presentations behind me and 200 of those in just this past year, I know exactly what it takes to craft a keynote that leaves audiences buzzing with excitement. But here's something that most speakers won't tell you. Great keynotes are not written. They are built. They're built strategically, piece by piece, using a modular method that allows maximum flexibility, maximum impact, and maximum memorability. Here's what you will learn today: why most keynote speeches are instantly forgettable and how to avoid that fate. You'll learn my proven modular keynote method. I sometimes call it my chunk method, that allows you to deliver an unforgettable speech, customized to any length for any audience at any time. You'll learn how to craft powerful individual modules or chunks that captivate, engage, and drive home your core message every single time. And you'll learn how to blend these chunks seamlessly to form a keynote that feels natural, it flows effortlessly, and sticks in the hearts and minds of your audience. The good news? By the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to build your own unforgettable keynote, step by step, story by story, chunk by chunk. If you're ready to stop guessing and start crafting keynotes that get you booked, that are remembered, and get you invited back again and again, then let's jump in. Most keynote speeches are instantly forgettable. Yeah, that's harsh, I know, but it's true. Think about the last event that you attended. How many speakers did you hear? Now, how many of those talks can you vividly recall today? One, maybe two, possibly none. Here's why that happens. Most speakers make a huge mistake. They try to deliver a speech and not a transformational experience. They stand up, they talk for 30 or 45 or maybe 60 minutes, and then they sit down. They rely on notes, they rely on slides, maybe memorized scripts, rather than a powerful structure that's built for maximum audience engagement. That's exactly what we're going to fix today. Instead of a speech, you'll learn to craft a powerful keynote using my proprietary modular keynote method, also known affectionately as the chunk method. Now, this method allows you to deliver a keynote that's unforgettable, that's powerful, and it's flexible enough to fit virtually any time slot: 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, or even a full 60-minute keynote, simply by combining strategically created modules or chunks. So what exactly is the modular keynote method? Think of your keynote like building a Lego masterpiece. Each Lego block or chunk can stand alone as a complete mini talk, each containing an attention-grabbing opening, a relatable, powerful story, one clear, memorable lesson or insight, and a strong close that drives your core message home. Each chunk is about 5 to 9 minutes long, averaging approximately 7 minutes, and each one supports your overarching core message. Now, let me pause here and talk a little bit about core messages because it's critical to your success. Step number one, you've got to identify your core message, because every great keynote starts with a powerful core message. It's your guiding North Star. It's your central theme, your foundational truth, your one big idea, the one thing that you want your audience to walk away knowing, believing, and remembering. I coach my speaker clients to craft their core message, starting with two very powerful words: you can. For an example, you can become an influential leader who inspires genuine loyalty and motivates teams without micromanaging or constant supervision. Another example, you can attract more clients and close sales authentically without ever feeling pushy or salesy again. Another example, you can master stage fright, own your confidence, and become an unforgettable public speaker, even if you're terrified right now. Notice how each core message is about the transformation that the audience experiences. It's not about the speaker themselves. Your core message may never even be spoken explicitly in your keynote, but it shapes every single word, every story, and the insight that you deliver. The second step is build your first chunk or module. Once you have your core message nailed down, the next step is to build your very first chunk. Here's how you do it. First, open with a powerful hook. Start strong. Skip the boring intros or thank yous. Instead, jump directly into the heart of the action or a powerful question. A weak opening is something like, "Today, I'd like to talk about leadership." A more powerful opening, "Have you ever wondered why some leaders inspire fierce loyalty while others struggle to get their teams to simply show up on time?" And then tell a story that drives the lesson home. Stories create emotion, connection, and memorability. Audiences, they forget facts, but they remember stories. The best stories are personable, they're relatable, and they show a clear before and after transformation. Each chunk should have one clear, memorable lesson or insight, and only one. One lesson, one takeaway, or one point. Audiences remember simplicity, so don't try to teach everything in one chunk. Focus deeply on one powerful lesson instead. And then close with a strong, action-oriented ending. End with a takeaway, a powerful quote, maybe a reflective question, or definitely a call to action. Your close should reinforce your core message and leave your audience eager for more. Here's a quick example. A core message might be, "You can confidently own the stage, even if you struggle with stage fright." The hook. There I was, standing backstage at the MGM Grand, my heart pounding, my palms sweating profusely, absolutely convinced that I was about to embarrass myself in front of 3,000 people. The story. Share the relatable struggle of overcoming intense stage fright, the moment of decision, and ultimately stepping out onto that stage to deliver a powerful speech. The lesson? Your audience is rooting for you to succeed. They want to hear your message. They're on your side. The close may be, so the next time you feel stage fright creeping in, remind yourself that your audience isn't waiting for you to fail. They're cheering for you to succeed. Can you see how this chunk stands alone as a powerful mini speech? That's exactly how every single chunk in your keynote should look and feel. Step number 3, practice your chunks in a safe environment, like Toastmasters, for example. Here's a big secret to becoming an unforgettable speaker. The first time you deliver a chunk, it's probably going to suck. And that's okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's really good news, because here's the truth. The greatest speakers rehearse, refine, and practice relentlessly. One of my favorite ways to quickly refine a new chunk is by practicing at a local Toastmasters club. Why? Because Toastmasters is a safe and supportive environment where you can test, tweak, and improve your chunk, receiving immediate feedback without the high-stakes pressure of a paying audience. Think of Toastmasters as your practice area, your gym. It's a good place to be bad first so you can be incredible later. Once you've polished your first chunk, the real magic begins, creating 7 more powerful chunks that support your core message, giving you maximum flexibility and impact. Now you might be asking, why 8 chunks? 8 chunks that average around 7 minutes each gives you incredible flexibility. Deliver 2 chunks and you've got a 15-minute talk for networking events. 4 chunks gives you a 30-minute Chamber of Commerce talk. 6 chunks, there's a 45-minute breakout session at a seminar or maybe a church group. All 8 chunks, a powerful 60-minute keynote at corporate events and conferences. With a modular keynote, you are never stuck. You're always prepared, you're always polished, and you're always professional. So here's a quick recap before we move on. You now have a proven method for building unforgettable keynotes, piece by piece, chunk by chunk. Start with your powerful core message. Create your first chunk, including the hook, the story, the lesson, and the close call to action. Refine and practice at Toastmasters or some other low-risk stage. Repeat until you have at least 8 powerful chunks ready to go. In the next segment, we're going to dive deeper. How to choose your best stories, how to master smooth transitions between chunks, how to combine chunks seamlessly to fit any stage or time requirement. So let's go deeper into crafting your keynote, specifically how to choose powerful stories, how to master smooth transitions, and customize your modular keynote for maximum impact. So by now, I think you've got a clear understanding of how each chunk works: an engaging opening, compelling story, clear takeaway, and a strong close call to action. So let's dig into 3 powerful techniques to elevate your keynote even further. First, advanced storytelling techniques. Choosing the right stories is crucial. Not all stories are created equal. The best stories, the ones your audience remembers months or even years later, will share certain key elements. Number 1, emotion. Great stories stir feelings, excitement, empathy, hope, even laughter. Ask yourself, how do I want my audience to feel? Relatability. Your story must connect to the audience's experiences, fears, or aspirations. The more relatable, the more memorable. Every great story clearly demonstrates a transformation, a meaningful before and after. Show vividly how you or your characters have changed. For example, let's say your core message is about overcoming setbacks. Instead of just saying, I faced many challenges, you might tell a personal story like this. 3 years ago, I sat staring at an eviction notice taped to my front door. My business had failed. I felt embarrassed and alone. But that moment was the spark that I needed. Today, standing here with a thriving business, I want you to know this: your setbacks can become your greatest turning points. Can you see the difference? Your audience instantly feels connected to your struggle and to your success, and more importantly, inspired to believe that it's really possible for them too. Next, mastering smooth transitions. I call them pattern interrupts. Even the best keynotes can lose momentum if you don't strategically reset your audience's attention. That's why I teach speakers about pattern interrupts. These short breaks or shifts in your talk will reset the audience's attention, keeping them focused and engaged. Now, some proven pattern interrupt techniques may include surprising facts, like, did you know your attention span is shorter than that of a goldfish? Or maybe a rhetorical question. Have you ever wondered what separates a good leader from an unforgettable one? Or humor, a short, relevant joke or a funny observation instantly refreshes your audience's attention. The magic of a pattern interrupt is that it signals your audience's brain to reset, preparing them to refocus fully on the next chunk. And finally, customizing your modular keynote for maximum impact. One of the greatest strengths of the modular method is that it's flexible. But flexibility only works if you know how to leverage it effectively. When selecting chunks for your keynote, ask yourself these three critical questions. Who is my audience? Because you want to choose chunks that resonate deeply with their struggles, their desires, and their immediate needs. Ask yourself, what's my time limit? For shorter presentations like 15 minutes, pick your 2 strongest, most compelling chunks. For 30 to 45-minute talks, arrange your chunks to create a meaningful, emotional journey. For full 60-minute keynotes, use all 8 chunks strategically, balancing stories, insights, and impactful moments. And then ask yourself, what do I want my audience to know, think, feel, or do as a result of hearing my message? Be specific. Do you want them to take inspired action? Do you want to shift their perspective or spark an immediate change? Your chosen chunks and the order you place them in should clearly support these outcomes. By intentionally selecting and structuring your chunks around these questions, your keynote becomes more than just a talk. It transforms into an unforgettable experience that moves your audience to action. So here's a quick recap. You now have advanced strategies to maximize the impact of your modular keynote. You'll choose stories packed with emotion, relatability, and clear transformation. You will master smooth transitions using pattern interrupts to keep your audience deeply engaged, and strategically customize your chunks based on your audience, the time frame, and your desired outcome. This powerful combination means that you will deliver keynotes that don't just inform, they transform. Wow, we've covered a lot today, and I can only imagine your brain is buzzing with possibilities. You now have the blueprint to craft an unforgettable keynote, one that positions you as the must-book speaker at any event. You've learned how to clarify your core message so you speak with authority. You've learned how to structure your keynote into powerful, memorable modules or chunks that hook attention from start to finish. And you've learned how to choose and tell stories that resonate deeply and leave a lasting impact. And you've learned how to seamlessly transition from one chunk to the next, keeping your audience engaged and eager for more. But knowing what to do is only half the battle. Real results come when you implement these strategies and craft your keynote step by step. That's precisely why I created the modular keynote method, how to craft an unforgettable talk one story at a time. This step-by-step mini course takes all the guesswork out of keynote creation and guides you through the core message builder principle, how to define your foundational message clearly and powerfully. It guides you through chunk creation blueprint, how to craft modular chunks that captivate, educate, and inspire every single time. It guides you through storytelling mastery, the exact formula for choosing and delivering stories that your audience will never forget. And the pattern interrupt guide, how to create smooth, engaging transitions that hold your audience's attention. And the flexible keynote assembly system, how to adapt your keynote effortlessly for 15, 30, 45, and 60-minute presentations. And because implementation is everything, you'll also get these valuable bonuses: the Keynote Chunk Template, a plug-and-play framework for designing compelling 5 to 9-minute segments or chunks. You'll also get the Speaker's Story Bank Organizer to easily keep track of your best stories and match them perfectly to your key messages. And an AI-powered speaker toolkit to instantly generate powerful openings, persuasive statements, and audience engagement prompts to enhance your talk in mere seconds. Now, here's the best part. Because you're listening to this podcast, you can access this entire mini course with all the bonuses right now for just $47. The special price is exclusive to listeners like you who are serious about taking their speaking to the next stage. The link is right here below in the show notes, or if you're watching this on video, just check below the video to find the link to grab your copy now. Take action today and position yourself as a speaker audience will never forget. Now, thanks for joining me today on the Next Stage Speaker Success Secret Podcast. Remember, your message matters. So keep speaking, keep inspiring, and keep transforming. And I'll see you on the next episode.